If you're over 60 and feeling a sense of solitude, it's not just a sign of aging or loneliness. There's a deeper purpose behind it. You've lived through decades of raising children, facing life's challenges, celebrating victories, and enduring losses. You've watched time pass, your body slow down, and yet, in the stillness of these quieter moments, perhaps in the calm of early mornings or late evenings, you sense a shift within you. It's not just age creeping up on you. It's a profound divine change. God is at work in your life, and He is preparing you for something greater. This stage of life, this time after 60, is not an ending. It's a new beginning. The Bible shows us that this is a moment when God separates you, not to isolate you, but to elevate you, to purify you, and to draw you nearer to His purpose for your life. When the world tells you that your best days are behind you, remember, that's when God steps in and begins some of His greatest work. There's a sacred transition in your 60s. You may notice people and things drifting away, your circles shrinking, and the noise around you quieting down. It might feel like a loss, but it's not. It's purification. It's the moment God takes you by the hand and says, "Now that you've seen enough of life, let me show you what I've always seen in you." Moses was 80 when the call came at the burning bush. Abraham was 75 when God told him he would be the father of many nations. And Anna, the prophetess, spent decades praying and worshiping before she recognized the Messiah. In the Bible, we see that when people slow down in the physical world, that's when God speeds up His spiritual work in them. The world might focus on youth, fresh starts, and new beginnings, but God is the God of completion. He finishes what He starts. And as long as you're still breathing, God is not finished with you. In fact, this could very well be the season when God begins the most important chapter of your life. So if you're feeling like things are falling apart, if people are drifting away, and if old roles no longer fit, don't be afraid. This is often when God begins His sacred work of separation, not to isolate you, but to bring you closer to Him. This message isn't just for the younger you, the one with boundless energy and fewer concerns. This is for you right now, with silver hair and perhaps a few aches and pains, but still carrying a heart full of purpose. In your 60s, God is beginning to separate you for something new, something holy. And it's not the end. It's the beginning of something sacred. Let's walk through this together. First, the season of divine distinction. Number 1, the season of divine distinction. Let's be honest. There's something different about this season of life, not just physically, but spiritually. In your 60s, God is calling you to something greater. This is not just about growing older. It's about being called. It's about distinction. Throughout the Bible, we see God calling people to their deepest purpose later in life. Abraham was 75 when he received God's call. Moses was 80 when he was called to lead God's people. These people weren't at the height of their youth or physical strength, but that's when God called them. Why? Because distinction comes when we've been emptied, when our ambitions have quieted and our hearts are finally open. And often, divine distinction comes with discomfort. The things that used to excite you suddenly feel empty. Places you once thrived in feel foreign. But this isn't boredom. It's a spiritual shift. God is drawing you away from the noise and the crowds, not to isolate you, but to position you for deeper intimacy with Him. In your 60s, God is calling you higher, setting you apart from the familiar. It's a season where you carry wisdom, not weariness, purpose, not passivity. And in this quiet, sacred space, you can finally hear God's whispers. Number 2, the wilderness of wisdom, isolation before revelation. Now let's talk about something that might sting a little. Feeling isolated. Fewer invitations, fewer phone calls, and conversations that once flowed now feel forced. It can feel like life is moving on without you, but what if I told you that this isolation is not abandonment, it's alignment? God often calls His people into solitude before revealing His plans. Jesus Himself spent time in the wilderness before beginning His ministry. The wilderness is where God prepares us for something deeper. In your 60s, the wilderness may look like quieter days, smaller circles, and fewer distractions. But in this solitude, God's voice becomes clearer. When everything else fades away, you can finally hear the Holy Spirit. The wilderness is exclusive. Not everyone is invited into this space, but you are. God is positioning you to hear Him more clearly, to understand your calling, and to see His purpose unfold in your life. Number 3, the pruning process, losing to gain. At this stage, you might notice that you've lost some things. Relationships that once felt secure, opportunities that seemed within reach, roles that once defined you. These losses can feel painful, but sometimes they are necessary. In John 15, Jesus talks about pruning. God removes things that are good in order to make room for the best. God isn't removing things because you've failed. He's removing them because He sees more in you. Some losses are painful, but they are also purifying. God is shaping you for greater fruit. He's not subtracting from you. He's refining you for the eternal. Number 4, God shifts your circle to match your calling. You've probably noticed that your circle of friends isn't as large as it once was. Some relationships have faded away, and some you've chosen to walk away from because they no longer align with where God has taken you. God is very intentional about the people He places in your life. And as you move into deeper purpose, He will align you with people who understand legacy, who respect wisdom, and who value spiritual authority. This is the season when God is shifting your circle to match your calling. Number 5, legacy and purpose. Why you're not done yet. If you're still alive, you are still assigned. God didn't bring you through life's battles just to let you sit quietly on the sidelines. Your greatest purpose may be unfolding now. The Bible tells us that older saints, people with gray hair and slowing steps, still bear fruit. This is your legacy season. And your legacy is not about wealth or fame. It's about the impact you've made, the wisdom you've shared, and the people you've mentored. This is your time to plant what will outlive you, to leave a mark that will impact future generations. Number 6, the gift of clarity. Vision becomes sharper with age. As you age, something beautiful happens. Your vision becomes clearer. The distractions fall away, and your spiritual maturity sharpens your ability to discern God's will. This isn't just life experience, it's divine revelation. When you quiet the noise of the world, you hear God more clearly. You can see the big picture, the deeper meaning behind your life. Your role now is not just to dream, but to lead others with the clarity God has given you. Number 7, becoming a vessel of honor, set apart for God's use. As you get older, God begins to set you apart, not for popularity, but for purpose. You are becoming a vessel of honor, ready to carry God's message to those who need it most. This is a season of sanctification where God is preparing you for deeper intimacy with Him and a greater assignment. Embrace this season. You are not fading away. You are being shaped for something greater, something eternal. Your story, your wisdom, your faith, they will impact generations to come. Conclusion: God is just getting started. If you're over 60, don't think God is done with you. In fact, He's just getting started. Your best days are ahead of you, not behind. God is preparing you for a divine purpose that will last for eternity. So embrace the changes, embrace the separation, and trust that God is positioning you for something incredible. You are not forgotten. You are not finished. God is not setting you aside. He is setting you apart for His glory. So stand firm, walk with purpose, and keep trusting Him. Your journey is far from over.